Stemming from Big Agnes award-winning Fly Creek design, the Big Agnes Fly Creek HV UL2 employs a unique pole structure that maximizes the interior volume without adding weight to the system. DAC angle SF hubs are unique to the Fly Creek HV tents and result in steeper wall angles and higher interior volume. Even with more livable interior space, the packed weight of this tent is just around 2 pounds 5 ounces. The Y-shaped pole structure also makes for a quick and easy setup. The tent is fully freestanding, but you do need to stake out the foot corners in order to maximize your interior space. A full coverage Rainfly protects in rough weather, and an 8 square foot vestibule keeps your gear dry. The tent packs down small in its stuff sack with measurements of around 4 by 19 inches. Let's take a closer look at the Big Agnes Fly Creek HV UL2. The Fly Creek HV utilizes super lightweight materials. The floor of the tent is a silicone-treated nylon ripstop, and it is fully waterproof. The seams are taped with waterproof polyurethane solvent-free tapes, so you've got enhanced waterproof protection in the bathtub-style floor. It's ready to go right out of the packaging. Just above that, you've got a nylon ripstop privacy panel. It's slightly water resistant, but not waterproof. It's just there to kind of trap in a little bit of heat, as well as give you some privacy down low. And we've got super lightweight polyester mesh on the top. That's gonna allow for some serious air circulation and ventilation. And if you don't have the Rainfly on, some good stargazing opportunities as well. Where this tent really shines is in the pole structure. The Fly Creek HV utilizes a DAC angle SF hub, and that's unique to this tent. It creates near vertical walls in the front of the tent, and it really enhances the space on the sides. So it really props the tent up, brings the body out a lot more, so you've got a lot more interior livable space. It feels a lot nicer on the inside. Those poles are a DAC Featherlight aluminum press fit pole, so you've got super lightweight construction there. It is a single hubbed pole, so you don't have to worry about multiple pieces. The construction is extremely simple. It's a Y shape. You've got 2 points at the front, a single point at the back to attach that. It is color coded, but it's not totally necessary. There's only really one way to set this tent up. The tent is completely freestanding. It's considered a freestanding tent at least, but in order to get the maximum amount of space, you will want to stake out those back 2 corners by the feet to really draw out the tent body. If you're in an emergency situation where you just need to pitch this in a hurry, you can certainly do so because it is freestanding, but to get that full space, you'll need to stake it out. The dimensions of this tent are 86 inches long, so it's certainly long enough for those taller backpackers. It's 52 inches wide at the head and 42 inches wide at the foot, so it does taper off toward the end. That's to save weight and pack space. Now, it's plenty big for a single backpacker with a longer, wider sleeping pad, but if you are using this for 2 backpackers, you're gonna be kind of cozy, and it will only fit 2 regular width sleeping pads. 2 wide sleeping pads will not fit in this tent, so keep that in mind if you're using it for 2 backpackers. The peak height is around 39 or 40 inches. It's fairly tall. You can sit up easily in the tent to change clothing, to organize gear, or do what you need to do while you're in the shelter. So you've got plenty of space inside. Again, with that unique pole structure, it feels a lot more roomy on the inside. You've also got mesh pockets, so inside on the sides and at the top, you have some storage pockets. They're very easy to access for electronics, headlamps, whatever you need to store there. You've also got internal gear loft loops. They're compatible with the triangle gear loft that is sold separately than the tent. One last feature on the tent body that I do want to call out because it really helps with that interior space are these loops on the sides. So right on the sides here, we've actually got a higher loop and a lower loop. Those integrate with clips that are on the Rainfly, and when you guy out that Rainfly, it essentially pulls on these loops and draws that tent body out even further. So if you're not using the Rainfly, it'll kind of sit in, no big deal. You've still got a lot of space inside, but with the Rainfly attached, fully guyed out, you really draw out that tent body and get a ton of interior space. So it is a really nice amount of space given the weight that this tent comes in at. I've attached the Rainfly to the tent here so we can take a look at that, its features, and what else it has going on. The Rainfly is built with that same silicone treated nylon ripstop that's found in the tent floor. You've got fully waterproof performance from that material. The seams are taped with that same polyurethane waterproof solvent-free tape, so you've got really nice performance throughout the entire Rainfly. It is super easy to attach it to the tent body or the accessory footprint if you have purchased that. There are simple buckles at each attachment point at the front 2 corners and the middle of the back, and they are color-coded for easy orientation. The tabs at those corner attachment points are reflective, so when you're looking for your tent in the dark, you can easily spot those tabs down low, and you can tension them appropriately to get a nice taut pitch for your tent. Again, there are 2 kind of corner loops at the back, so you can attach those to the tent stakes to maximize that waterproofness, to really draw out the Rainfly and get the full coverage that it offers. There are reflective guy outlines throughout the tent body, so each attachment point to the tent is reflective, and you've got a simple guy line there with a plastic tensioner, so you can really draw the tent out, really hunker down in the event of a storm or a windy night, and get a nice taut pitch and a secure pitch as well. With the guy lines that are on the sides of the tent, as I mentioned on the tent body, there's an integrated loop, and what that'll allow you to do is clip the tent or the Rainfly to the tent body and really draw it out to maximize your interior space. So just a smart addition that doesn't add any extra weight. There is a vestibule with the tent. You've got about 8 square feet in that vestibule. It's plenty for 2 backpackers. You can easily store packs, muddy boots down there if you need to, and if it's just being used as a solo shelter, you've got ample space for all of your gear outside and potentially some inside the tent as well. The entry of the tent creates a really nice stay dry entry. So what that does, you've got a storm flap over the zipper, so it's a leak-proof zipper. You won't experience any water leaking through. And when you have that open, it sits off the tent body slightly, and because of that vertical front door or near vertical front door, you're not gonna drip water into the tent body itself. So it's a really smart entryway, and it just adds that little extra layer of protection and assurance. Overall, this is a really smart tent design. It's super lightweight, it's sizable enough for 2 backpackers or oversized for 1. You've got a smart pole design that's gonna maximize your interior space. It's just got all those bells and whistles and little attentions to detail that most ultra lightweight backpackers are looking for. It's the Big Agnes Fly Creek HV UL2. Thanks for watching. If you have any additional questions about the gear that you just saw, feel free to visit backcountryedge.com to get in touch with me or one of our other gear specialists. We have detailed product descriptions and specs, and often for a lot of our products, we have additional bonus videos. And if you like what we do here on YouTube, please subscribe.